All right, but we got ourselves a game, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Hopping into Simulacrum for map number 1 in the lower right-hand corner, formerly of OGS. And just a really nice person, streamer on Twitch. Good dude. You might know him as Top. We know him today as Kiwian. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, the blue Zerg player from Mexico. It is none other than JimRising. One of the most well-known Spanish-speaking StarCraft personalities. Very, very popular. Seems to be a super good guy. And yeah, also a very good StarCraft player. Like, really do not underestimate JimRising. I remember when he started doing a lot of casting and he was playing in the like Casters Invitational, Roddy kept giving him shit just because he's such a good player. And then, oh yeah, no, I've done a few casting gigs. Now it's time for the Casters Invitational. But to be fair, JimRising casts a lot in Spanish. He puts on a lot of content, streaming all the time. And yeah, I'm really excited for this one. We have two really big personalities in the scene. Now, Top, Kiwian has not been around in a while. He hasn't streamed. He didn't stream for months, and I was kind of sad to see him not be around. So when he came back, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, I think I saw a tweet that he was coming back. And now he's playing in the ESL Cup. I'm excited to see how he does back to StarCraft. I hope he's feeling good about it. Looks like he's going to open real standard here. He's got that Reaper doing damage to Lings across the map. Even doing damage to a drone. And back at home, he's going to be heading into Hellions to start with. I like this wall. This is a really nice wall. This right here is an anti-baneling bust wall. And you know what? I don't know that Jim is super averse to the baneling busts. Everything looking pretty standard for Jim as well. He has not gone to take a third though. His speed just finished, so now would be the time. All right, he is gonna go ahead and take that third now. It's very late though. We're getting close to 4 minutes here before that third base is taken. A couple Hellions and the Reaper gonna come up. The two Queens should be able to push this away. That Queen did not get bopped by that Reaper grenade at all. She just sat there. She just took it. She's like, I'm too chunky for this. Too heckin' chunky. Behind this, Kiwian going for stim. Gonna be going into bio. I've heard a lot about how mech is very strong against Zerg from Zerg players. And seen a lot of bio out of the Terran players. Very interesting combination. I also recently changed my graphics settings, and I'm still getting used to the fact that shadows are now a little more accurate, and it's kind of weird to me. Like flying units with shadows. I'm still not used to it. Oh my god, can you see that shadow? No, you can't. Okay. You could only see shadows of units that you have vision of. Alright, Liberator gonna hit in the main. Gonna grab 2 drone kills, and it looks like it should die. No, it gets out of there. 9 hit points. Only 2 drones going down. These units tried to come into the third base, but what you didn't know, Kiwian, is that there's no drones at the third base. Which isn't really very good for Jim. He only lost a couple of drones, but he's only on 48. They were even on drones just a second ago. But he does have a lair finish, which means this Spire is on the way up. It's actually almost done. And is Kiwian ready for that at all? He did just finish both his eBay, so he could slap down a couple of turrets, but he has no idea that that Spire is coming up. And there's only just now a decent amount of production here for Kiwian to start getting Marines out. He's gonna need that anti-air. All right, turrets are now on the way up. At least one turret is now on the way up. But the mutas are coming out, and 10 mutas is gonna be the name of the game. Nah, Kiwian is moving out. He does not realize mutas are on the way. Jim is gonna catch him completely off guard with this. Looks like Kiwian wants to clear some creep. He repaired this Liberator up. He's gonna send it back over, and there's no extra defense here. He didn't throw down a spore or anything. I mean, yeah, certainly he has mutas, but using mutas defensively like this isn't necessarily the ideal way to use them at first, right? You want to attack, especially since it's a surprise. Now we can see extra turrets going up perhaps. We can see a more defensive posture here from Kiwian. He's pulling back his Marines. He does still have some Hellions across the map, maybe looking for something, but there's so few drones at this third base. Where are all the drones? Actually, Kiwian, he's grouped his Marines together. He wants to push out on the map. Hellions get taken out by the mutas. There's a lot of mutas here. You're going to need more turrets here. There are a couple of turrets around the bases, but one turret, I think, gets taken out by these mutas without too much issue at all. Yep, there goes that first turret. Nice pullback on this low muta. Widowmine burrows up to the top side, and Marines will stim up. Double stim, in fact. But 5 SCVs have fallen. Delay on the CC, or in the barracks. Oh, and now there's no defense down here. Lings and Banes coming in. A ton of the Marines up in the main base, doing absolutely nothing. And Kiwian gonna get caught off guard. A really nice mine hit, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough. And Banelings are coming in to look for SCV kills. They are not gonna find them. Marines push back the mutas, at least temporarily. Nice splits here from Kiwian so far. Ooh, as I say that. But he cleans up a lot of the mutas. He loses 12 SCVs, but 8 of the mutas have gone down, as well as 55 lings. Let's take a look at resources lost. It is still in Kiwian's favor. And because the income has actually been pretty even this game, not as Zerg favored as you'd normally see. Of course, right now, after killing that many SCVs, forcing a lot of lost mining time, it went to Jim's favor for a little bit there. But it's going to fall back to pretty close to even. Now, Jim's follow-up. Big Ling Bane Muta follow-up. A Thor is now here, though, to help against these mutas. Oh, Widowmine's going down. Some friendly fire. 11 more SCVs taken out here. 16 even. And suddenly Kiwian is down to 40 SCVs. Now that was a lot of money spent on that army for JimRising, but he does have a 4th base coming up now. It feels kind of late though. Jim's economy is not great. He's on 59 workers. That's not even full 3 base saturation here. Ooh, a nice Marine drop takes out a building 5th. You don't want to stick around here too long. Jim has been non-stop with the mutas as well. These mutas have +1 attack. That second turret is not finished. Marine's gonna come up and push them away. The gas geyser, repair. Oh, Ling's coming in, but they will be taken care of. No repair on that gas geyser, sadly. There you go, he's gonna go for the rebuild. Second missile turret will get up, and there is still one in this mineral line. It's very damaged, but it still exists. And Kiwian is taking a 4th base pretty much at the same time as JimRising. So normally I would say Kiwian not in a great spot after all this damage, but Jim's economy just isn't good enough. He needs to find more damage. He's going to come back into the main base. There are a couple of turrets here. This one could get surrounded by SCVs for the mass repair. Instead, he's just going to pick off some units on the outside. There's the mass repair, and it is going to be good. One of the mutas goes down. Baneling's rolling into this third base, but there's plenty of units here to handle. And a lot of this gas mining has gone down for Kiwian, but he's floating gas already. He actually doesn't need it. So this is a lot of not important damage here for JimRising. Oh, Marine's gonna get taken out. Oh, pull the SCVs. All right, pulls the SCVs. There is a fourth base. It's a planetary. There's no turrets with it just yet, but there's a Thor pretty close. Bit of a drop in the back. I think it's this maybe the same group of Marines as earlier. Not getting all that much done. Gonna get taken out by the mutas and the Lynx here. This fifth base does get up. Oh, actually, this was probably the drop from earlier then. So Kiwian trying to get some of that multi-prong going on. This Widow Mine just chilling on the creep, keeping an eye on things. Muta's now posturing to go take out this fourth base. Couple of Widow Mines about to burrow though, and these do have drilling claws, which means they won't be detected. But there's no other anti-air here. Where's that Thor? Where's the big Thor, buddy? All right, Marines come up, push them away. Few more SCVs following though, and Kiwian has been very low economy. JimRising is up to 76 workers now, and if we take a look, the last few minutes here have looked more like a normal TVZ map. Very in favor of our Zerg player. And Kiwian gonna need to be able to get some work done. A nice split on these Banelings. The SCVs are gonna have to get out of there. All right, there's enough units to hold this off. That is a very low SCV, or command center, excuse me. Mutas maybe not in the greatest spot. They take out a few Marines. It looks like they won't die, so some nice kills there. Sensor tower gets taken out. This drop trying to be annoying. Couple of mines in here. Oh, this mine burrows. Oh, a nice kill there on that Widow Mine. This one gets 5 kills. 5 drone kills. Still no detection here. Okay, there's the Overseer. We'll take out that Widow Mine. I'd like to see a repair up on this Thor. 240 out of 400 hit points. Kiwian's economy has gotten a little bit better. He's up to 55 SCVs, still not quite like where he'd like to be. This fourth base, not very close to saturated at the moment. I'd like to see some more SCVs being made here for top. He is floating a lot of minerals at the moment though. Maybe trying to decide what to make. Nothing in the main base. There's a couple of turrets here. There's no repair on those turrets. Handful of Marines coming back up, stimming back into the main. Jim's gonna have to get out of there, but Kiwian has moved out on the map, and let's take a look at that army supply. Maybe Kiwian did not want more SCVs because he has 150 supply in army. Yeah, these mutas still doing damage. There's not enough Marines here. Oh man, Muta's taking out the big supply depot. That's shame. That's shame right there. Widow Mines burrowing, creep being cleared, but this is a very slow push. And we have Adrenal, Chitinous, and 3 Ultralisks on the way here for JimRising. Widow Mines moving forward. There are Marauders in this composition, so man, these mutas are still doing so much damage. It seems like Kiwian may be a little more focused on this frontal attack. This Thor at 3 hit points. Pull this buddy to the back. Poor guy. Some decent Widow Mine connections there. Muta's flying around trying to find something here. Should be able to get some damage done. Might be able to just take out this CC. Oh, Marines getting caught a little bit, but nice splits from Kiwian. Oh, and look how much bio there is. Oh, but a massive fungal on top of these units. Chitinous is not quite done yet. These ultras a little bit weak at the moment. They're going to want to wait, but 5 ultras. Oh my god, there's 9 ultras building right now. And I think Jim should be able to push this back. Now we take a look at the supplies. And Kiwian, who was maxed not that long ago, is now down to 138 supply. He's going to lift off and go into the main. But he can't really sustain this forever. The ultras, the pathing is kind of dumb, but they're going to go into the main. Let's try to take care of this. There's a few mutas and a few ultras on the low ground. Oh my god, the humanity. And JimRising, with that, should be able to take game number 1 here against Kiwian. A really nice victory for Jim. Started off very low economy, but he kept the pressure on and was able to build that economy eventually and get to where he needed to. There's still more action on this map. I don't want to count Kiwian out just yet, but this is a lot of ultras. Now, if there's one way to lose a game, it's to build ultras and run them underneath the liberators into widow mines, but the mutas will clean up the libs. And Marines, not great versus ultras. A lot of these ultras going down. Kiwian getting some damage on the other side of the map, but this is a 5th base. He's gonna lose his 3rd. Granted, if we take a look, 9 ultras have died. And that is not a good trade here for a Zerg player. These units getting picked up. How many mutas are left, actually? Only 5 mutas. There's a single corruptor out. 7 infestors on the way. Jim's spending that gas. He's trying to get these medevacs out of here, but it's not going to work. These are some dead units. He's going to split them up. Unfortunately, it does not really matter. He's just buying time at this point. He's floating his main to his 3rd base. He does have a 5th base landed with some mules here. Morphing it into an orbital. No medevacs is really hurting him right now, as this army is extremely low. Looks like a cornucopia over here. He's got the fall leaf skin on these Marines. That's all that is, the fall leaf skins. Jim found this 5th base. The mules that were recently landed are dead. And, well, Kiwian is down 76 supply right now. He's on 32 SCVs. Looks like some lings perhaps were hitting this base as well. 4 Widowmine drop. It's gonna walk past a whole bunch of things that are gonna see it. Like a whole bunch of things. Now attacking at the 3rd base, which again, this is the main command center. Single Widowmine gets a shot off. Command center goes down. Kiwian is stuck on 2 mining bases right now. 33 SCVs. He's got 84 army supplies still. Widow mines are detected. 13 drones have died, and yet Jim is still at 72 workers. He's got 5 more on the way. I just don't see a way out of this for Kiwian. I just don't see a way. Widowmine in the middle of the map, gonna get a nice shot. Look at that, beautiful shot. Unfortunately, he needs about 30 more of those before it starts to matter. 30 good Widowmine shots, and Kiwian could get back into this game. That's a guarantee for me. But I don't think he's gonna get that. Right now we've got 8 ultras on the field. Jim is maxed. He's got a greater spire on the way. Kiwian is moving out. This is the final push. Nope, he's pulling back. Honestly, Jim could just not engage. Yep, he's going for the counterattack. And I think that's a wise decision. He can afford to lose this base. Just pull the drones. Pull them down here. You know what? He probably doesn't even need to do that. There's no SCVs left. 21 SCVs total. I think they're all at this base. Libs are not even sieged up on this ramp. This part of the battle is going pretty well here for Kiwian. These infestors are kind of all alone. He needs like 2 ultras down here with this. Yeah, that's just gonna be GG. JimRising is gonna take game number 1. That game ended a little while ago, but Kiwian was fighting it out. He was putting in his best effort, and you cannot blame him. But that was only game 1. So we still have further games to look forward to. JimRising looking quite good there, though. A very quick Muta opening. Some NA play there for you. Classic North American. All right. Hopefully we get that invite to game number 2. There we go. Boom. We are in. Hopefully we get all of our fellow casters in. I am inviting them to games. Excellent. Looks like Nightshade's going to be map number 2. Is this the Jimmy that Winter always yells at? This is the same Jimmy. I assume. I know for a fact that this is the Jimmy that M. Canning is always yelling at. I will say I don't watch Winter enough to know if he's yelling at JimRising, but based on my anecdotal evidence of M. Canning yelling at Jim, I'm going to go with yes. Also, what's up 47ness? How you doing, my dude? And Rye68, you were 1 off from that nice. But nice. Don't forget to use Microbial Shroud. Best upgrade in the game. Alright, let's hop into game number 2. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Nightshade. In the light pink, it is our Terran player, Kiwian. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, in the blue, it is none other than JimRising. Oh my, 47ers, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. My dude. 47ers, not only good people, but also a wonderful artist. I've seen many an excellent art piece out of 47ers. If you don't follow him on Twitter, I'm going to go ahead and suggest that you do. Just so you can see that wonderful art pop up on your feed. And yes, thank you again for that Twitch Prime. Fun fact, if you guys have Twitch Prime, you get a free subscription with that every month. All you have to do is click the subscribe button on the top side of your web page, and you can choose to subscribe free with Twitch Prime. There you go. That's my PSA for the day. Kiwian going to be blocking that third base. Now, we saw last game, Jim didn't seem to mind so much not having that third base, as he was going for a quick lair, quick spire. Reaper going to come across now, but there's 4 lings on the way. Going to do that little dance. Do a little dance. make a few lings, play games tonight. Oh my, what? Wait, you can build buildings over top of the Reaper grenade. What just happened? What? Ooh, this Reaper got a kill though. I cannot believe that you can build buildings over top of the Reaper grenade. It should block it. It's crazy. This Reaper with 1 kill more than most Reapers get. Still delaying this third base. Does look like Jim really wants to take a third base, so he's going to take this forward one. Not the ideal one, but he doesn't mind. Back at home, Kiwian is going for Reactored Factory, getting those Hellions out. He's got a starport coming up. We'll see if he goes for that same kind of Liberator Hellion dual prong. Could be very good. It didn't get a ton done in the last game, but at the same time, he kept the Lib alive, he kept the Hellions alive, and that always is a good, it's a good thing. Like, you know, you get a couple of worker kills, maybe you force a pull off the line, and if you can keep those units alive, it can be very strong. We've actually got a pretty decently sized group of Lings coming up. There's a Marine and 2 Hellions here. They're gonna get jumped on top of, but fortunately for Kiwian, he was paying attention. And there is no third base. Jim not getting a third base up, going instead for a Roach Warren. He's got 7 Roaches on the way. And yeah, he's just pushing across the map right now. Are the Queens gonna come? That's the question. Oh, never mind. He did put down a third base. I am actually insane. I watched him put this third base down, guys. Units being caught and killed here. There's just no scout from Kiwian about this. He has no idea there's Roaches on the way. These Hellions might bump into them in just a second. The Reaper's going to be the first to see this. Kiwian pulls back immediately. He does have a Liberator. He's going to siege that Lib up on this ramp. Already getting 1 kill on the Roaches. Oh, and as the Hellions go down, the Lings are going to come in. Not a lot of Lings here, but enough to be very annoying. Bunch of SCVs fighting. Kind of alone, though. This bunker, I don't know if that bunker's ever getting up. And this is the problem with the Liberator defense. It kind of has to siege in position. This Viking is going to kill an Overlord. That's going to be mildly annoying here for Jim. However, he's killed a few SCVs. He's forced the liftoff on the command center. He needs to do more, though. Yeah, he needs to at least hold this position for a few extra minutes. This Liberator is going somewhere. All right, Siege Tank is going to try to hold the top of the ramp. A couple of nice Siege Tank shots there. And that's going to be well out of bile range. So far, Kiwian is holding. He'll hold his main base. This Viking already has 1 kill, is going to grab a second one. That's annoying. This Liberator is going to siege up in the back, but drones get pulled, and Queen is doing damage to it. Is this Viking going to get a 3rd Overlord kill? It is. It doesn't even go down. Oh, okay, there we go. Goes down to the Queen. The Queen finishes it off. Jim taking out these rocks. But Kiwian has retaken his base. Oh, this Overlord, which is very low. Should be able to go down to a few Marines if Kiwian sees it. There you go.
You need more supply depots.
Oh my god, Kiwian. How dare you use the Diva announcer pack. Looks like he wants to do a Marine drop. Might be able to do some damage to this base, but there's no drones here or anything to kill, so he might go right into the main. Behind this, it seems Biotank is the name of the game. Combat shields on the way up. There's no 3rd base for Kiwian. Hellions get cleaned up. No creep in the main. So the Marine's going to be able to get in unimpeded. and take out quite a few drones here. Oh man, killing something like 10 workers. Picks up most of those Marines. One of them goes down. Oh, another one goes down. Sad times for those Marines. Oh no, and Jim rallied his overlords across the map. He's gonna be incredibly supply blocked right now. He needs to get some laser overlords out. It's 103 over 72, which means he cannot actually build any units to defend against this push, and he is down 20 army supply. Jim is in a world of trouble. I think this third base might go down. He's gonna try to defend it. All right, how's your defense here, Jim? Some friendly fire splash from the tanks, killing each other. This one's gonna get biled down, but it is too much bio, and Kiwian is gonna take game number 2. Tying up the series 1-1. Jim going for a big roach all in. It did not work. It did not work. Oh, Tempo. Tempo comes into the chat with the beautiful compliment. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I really enjoy casting. That's basically all I'm doing right now. I don't really have a good time to stream StarCraft at the moment with the whole coronavirus thing going on. It's limited my amount of streaming, but I'm making sure to keep on the casting. We got the ESL Cups, Cock of the Walk, all that good stuff. Make sure to invite our commentators. Excellent. Excellent. Getting ready for game number 3. Everdream is going to be our map. Dude, Tempo. I mean, Tempo, he's like top tier caster, right? Top tier commentator. All right, we're getting ready for game number 3. I'm very excited. We don't get a lot of 2-1s. I feel like a lot of times when I cast games, we get a lot of 2-0s in these cups. But we have ourselves a tied series here. So let's hop into it. Game number 3 on Everdream. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner in the pink, it is Kiwian. And his opponent in the upper right-hand corner, the blue Zerg player, it is JimRising. Apparently the Jimmy referred to earlier is a Marine, or the invisible stream technician. This Jimmy is not so invisible. He is very visible. He's also not a Marine. This would be, you know, Jim the brood mother, something like that. Going for that hatch first. After that roach cheese, you gotta point out the hatch first. I don't always do that, but for some players, you gotta make sure to point out that it's hatch first. But it's been pretty standard openings for both players. Very standard openings for both players, I would say. I don't want to say I don't expect Jim to do another very aggressive build, because this map actually could lend itself quite well. We've seen some Bly builds where he'll take this forward third base. You can spread creep pretty quickly and grab a quick gas here and do like a Ravager Queen push. That can be very powerful. But I actually feel like Jim has a better chance in a long game versus Kiwian. Kiwian was gone for a while, so he's maybe a little rusty. And the longer those games go, the more rusty he's going to be. When it's just a few units, his control is so good, and his defense is solid just because of years and years of being one of the highest level players. But yeah, it can be tough to get back into those late game scenarios once you've been gone for a while. Reaper once again doing the dance. Gets a kill. Look at that. A Ling kill. These Kiwian Reapers, man. I'm telling you. Speed coming up for Jim. No other cheeky tech here. We'll see if he's able to take a third in a couple seconds. Usually you want to walk the queen out to take that third base. Not going for it just yet. Back at home, Kiwian once again going for Hellions. I mean, this is the standard opening against Zerg. Seems very likely he's going to go for the same kind of things. All right. Excuse me for a moment there. I had a bit of a yawn. I'm a little tired, you know? That's why I got to drink the energy drink. We have a lair coming up on 2 bases for Jim. He is going to grab that third base, but it's quite late at this point. It's looking a lot like game number 1, which leads me to believe we might see mutas once again. Jim was feeling pretty good with those mutas, and you can't blame him. It's a few Lings looking like they want to hit the front here, but a couple of Hellions should be able to deter that. I like the Viking here to push away that Overlord. Lings versus Hellions is such an interesting battle. Like a bunch of Hellions versus a bunch of Lings usually goes well for the Hellions, but a few Lings versus Hellions, they actually get a lot of damage done on those Hellions. It's just it's an interesting dance back and forth with Lings and Hellions. You got to be careful on both sides. There is that Spire coming down for Jim. Hellions coming in looking for something to get done, but there's no drones here, so I don't know what he's planning on. Oh my god, he really wants that Overlord. He gets it. Doesn't lose the Viking, 9 hit points. Still got these Hellions positioned over here. I really feel like Kiwian should be able to recognize this. Game 1 looked exactly like this. The third came down at the same time. There were no drones there. Now that he sees no drones, as he has his E-base finished up, are we going to see any turrets coming down for Kiwian? He's going to hit the back of the main base, but again, that means he's not going to see the Spire. Oh, maybe he'll shift now that the Queen has seen him. We have vision on that Spire. Oh no, the shift Q just messed up. Alright, he's going to see the Spire. Back at home, we should see turrets going down. There's 9 Mutalisks on the way. 5 drones went down. I believe that was Hellions hitting the third. But if all those Hellions died, it's not great. This Liberator still trying to get something done. It will actually see the +1 begin. If he was paying attention to that, you can see the jiggle. Liberator is going to die. Faux show. Faux show. But we got turrets in the main base, turrets in the natural. And these Marines are moving out. Kiwian wants to try to maybe put on a little pressure with some Marines. Not a lot of Lings here. Bane speed is on the way. I don't think there's any Banelings out just yet. The Mutas are looking to find some stray Marines. They might be able to, or they could hit this wall. Yeah, there's only like 4 Marines here. They're just going to die immediately. This wall going to get deleted a little bit. There is a turret at the third base, so the Muta's got to be a little bit careful. Rest of the Marines will push the Mutas off, but this delays any damage Kiwian wanted to get done. Oh, 2 mutas going down though. Jim losing a couple of mutas. Not ideally. And it looks like Marine Mine is the name of the game here for Kiwian. Losing some of these depots, gonna want to get back on building those. He does have 1-1. And this is actually something I noticed from JimRising in game number 1. There's no Evo chambers here. There's no upgrades for his ground units, so he's just gonna be down those upgrades for a very long time. In fact, I don't think he has Evo chamber at all. Not a single one on the map. But he's not looking for the long game. The pickup into the Medivacs. Oh my god, but the Banelings hitting the SCV line here, and Kiwian was not ready for a bunch of Ling Bane to come in. There were no mines. And the CC is in a lot of trouble as the mutas are hitting it. I think it's going to go down. How are the splits? Kiwian! They're decent. The Widow Mines are pretty good. Ooh, but not good enough. And they don't have Drilling Claws. 18 SCVs have died. And Kiwian is in a lot of trouble right now. He doesn't have enough Marines to fight the mutas anymore. The muta's going to make sure this wall goes down and stays down. He gets one mine. The other mine doesn't go off on the mutas. Get some friendly fire with those Lings, and this is just going to be too much. JimRising with the Ling Bane Muta. Big attack on the third base. Scans going down, and that's going to be GG. And Kiwian gets taken out by JimRising. He underestimated Jimmy Boy. Not something you can do.